The Poisoned Potluck Puzzle Story. Every year in the coastal town of Central Beach, Shellby hosted the annual community potluck at his grand Victorian estate. This year felt more structured than usual, not because anyone demanded it, but because Shellby had laughed about last year's chaos and quietly assigned a few familiar faces to keep things running smoothly. Maribel, who worked as a cashier at the local market, stood near the entrance with a donation box and a clipboard, and everyone treated it as the most natural thing in the world to hand her small bills as they arrived. She was good with money, she was calm under pressure, and her presence made the whole evening feel organized. Sandra, Shellby's stepsister, arrived with her signature bold dishes: spicy Thai chili crab and a Mexican chocolate cake infused with cinnamon and a subtle chili kick. Shellby adored dramatic flavors and teased her loudly, joking that her cooking could wake the dead, and the line spread through the garden as people laughed and repeated it. Christopher, Shellby's health-conscious nephew, ran his salad station like a courteous attendant. Fruit and nuts bruised easily. Too many hands in one bowl felt unhygienic, and allergy concerns were real, so he plated portions for guests with tongs, asking the same automatic question each time: "Nuts okay?" As if it were second nature. Beside him sat a small jar of vinaigrette he described with practiced pride: olive oil, aged balsamic vinegar, citrus zest, and a measured note of almond extract to make it round and warm. He offered the dressing as an optional finish because many guests preferred the fruit and greens as is, so some asked for a drizzle while others declined. Bill, the baker, lingered near his famous apple pie with the anxious intensity of someone who had put too much of himself into a single crust. The pie looked almost lacquered, its glaze catching the warm glow of the lights, and Bill admitted a little too quickly that he'd been fixing the glaze all afternoon, fussing with it like a final coat that had to be perfect. Shellby moved through the tables like a mayor. Small bites, quick compliments, a little showmanship, sampling Sandra's crab, taking a modest slice of her cake, accepting a slice of Bill's pie, and then stopping briefly at Christopher's station. Christopher plated Shellby's salad the same way he had plated everyone else's, in the smooth rhythm of someone serving a line: tongs, a small tap against the bowl, a quick glance, and, if asked, a light finishing drizzle from the jar before the plate was handed off. Shellby was known to have a mild nut sensitivity, not enough to cause panic, but enough that he avoided strong, nutty flavors. Yet he still accepted the salad, later laughing to someone nearby that it didn't taste nutty at all. He carried a small glass of white wine for much of the evening, but never quite finished it, and the party drifted on with the easy confidence of a tradition repeating itself. Midway through the night, attention snapped toward the entrance, when Maribel suddenly complained that her lips felt tingly and her face grew flushed. She sat down quickly, breathing through the moment, and the crowd reacted the way crowds do when a simple explanation is available: allergy. People's eyes shifted toward Christopher's station, toward the nuts, toward the almond extract, and someone made a half-joking remark about finding the culprit, the kind of comment that relaxes everyone into certainty. Someone offered Maribel an antihistamine. After a few minutes and some water, Maribel insisted she was fine and brushed it off as probably a sensitivity. And just like that, the incident slid into the category of harmless discomfort. Noticed, explained, and mentally filed away. Near the end of the evening, Shellby complained that he felt unusually tired, which unsettled people because he was normally the last to sleep at his own gatherings, the type to do a final walkthrough of the house once the guests were gone. He blamed it on a long day, smiled as if it were nothing, and excused himself early to retire upstairs. As part of Shellby's nightly routine, his butler brought him a glass of warm milk on a small tray, placing it on the nightstand beside the bed. In the morning, Shellby was found dead in bed, his face calm, the room undisturbed, and the milk sitting untouched exactly where it had been left. The autopsy confirmed that Shellby had been poisoned, yet there were no signs of struggle and nothing unusual found in the bedroom. Tests on the milk revealed nothing abnormal, and investigators, blocked from the most obvious bedtime explanation, turned back toward the potluck, where everything Shellby had eaten had been shared, yet no one else had fallen seriously ill. As guests were interviewed again, one more detail surfaced from people's phones. During the toast, someone had taken a wide group photo of the garden for the town page. In the background, Maribel was visible at the entrance with the donation box, Christopher stood at his salad station, Bill was across the garden at the pie table, and Sandra was mid-laugh with a plate in her hand. The image looked ordinary in the way most photos do, capturing a moment that felt harmless at the time, but investigators lingered on it anyway, because the only thing more unsettling than an impossible poisoning is how normal everything still looked in the frame. Now the question remains: how was Shellby poisoned, and who killed him?